Summer in RuneScape has always been a strange thing. For the last 10 years, a carnival shows up unannounced, dropped into the middle of Lumbridge Crater. Well, there used to be a crater in Lumbridge, and asks you to pretend that the world isn't full of demons, gods, and ancient grudges. It's fun for sure, but it always kind of felt like eating a hot dog in an airport, comforting, familiar, and completely out of place. This year, something different happened. Jax packed up the old beach chairs, swept away the leftover sand, and took us somewhere new. This is called Sunlight Sands and is the new seasonal event that is rolled out for this year. A place that doesn't feel like temporary distraction, but a decent destination. A place with its own little pulse on the outskirts of Gielinor. And to be very honest, I kind of like it. Not because it's flashy, but because it feels kind of right. Today I want to talk about Sunlight Sands and the seasonal events coming into RuneScape, why they're a good thing, some of the bad parts about them, and why I like the direction they're going in. I'm into his edit moves. I play RuneScape, I talk about RuneScape. Let's get right into it. If you go on any social media, you'll probably get a very different feel for how seasonal events in RuneScape should be handled. For the last 10 years, the beach has been coming into Gielinor and it has been this very big FOMO event filled with timers, heat gauges, all types of things happening every 15 minutes to make sure that you are logged in and playing RuneScape, to make sure you don't miss out on anything rather than actually being good, fulfilling gameplay. Now, the Sunlight Sand runs from July 6th to August 3rd, which is typical for most of these seasonal events, and it's tucked away in the corner of the world called the Land of Sunlight, which is just a little teleport that you have when you click for your lodestones. It's not the Lumbridge Crater dressed up for the summer. It's not a pop-up bar on a street that you didn't ask for. It's a place built for the season, and you don't really see it impeding on the regular game world. It's a place that feels like it's just there, waiting for you to click the little button and go see what's going on. RuneScape has always been a patchwork of eras, ideas, and experiments, and this year's been a lot of smoothing that over and making sure the regular game world feels very authentic. Some parts of it feel pretty ancient and outdated. Most places feel pretty modern, and then there's some places like this that feel a little bit duct taped together at 3 a.m. Sunlight Sands is one of those rare moments where everything kind of lines up, sort of, question mark. The art, the atmosphere, and the intention, they're all kind of there and pointing in the right direction, but you can see the remnants of the last summer event essentially here. It's RuneScape, but just sunnier. They pretty much took the assets from the Lumbridge Crater beach event and just put it onto a little island. I haven't really played with a lot of the seasonal events myself. I have never really been a big player that interacted with seasonal events, but I like to do them every now and then. If I remember or I'm doing something in between the grind, I will just go ahead, pop into the summer event, and I'll take a look at it. Most of the time, what draws me in is the rewards. Always been cosmetics that are unlocked for the season, and here it's usually beachwear. There's a pet that's associated with the big boss that spawns, and there's also some resting animations that looked pretty cool to me. And so I just went ahead, dove into the event, and see what it's all about. So what's even in the event? Well, when you teleport into the Sunlight Sands, you'll find a familiar array of activities. Sandcastles you can build for AFK construction XP, cooking pits for cooking XP, little ducks that don't want to be caught, and you can also throw balls at coconuts for some ranged XP. There's a few other events trickled in, but they're all pretty much copy-paste of each other. You stand in an area, you get a little bar over your head, and you wait till the bar goes down, so then you get the XP. Then there's Claudia. This is a giant crab that shows up like a drunk regular at a sea bar and starts knocking over chairs and demanding attention. She's very chaotic and loud, and it's a little seasonal boss that everybody can fight that spawns every 45 minutes, and you're able to get a small mini version of her as her boss pet drop. Now, the pacing is slower now. It's less of a frantic spotlight rotation of things that are going on to keep your attention. It's more of a take your time, take a little breather off of work, and enjoy the moment. RuneScape often doesn't give you permission to relax when it comes to these seasonal events, and this is very nice that the Sunlight Sands event does. You pop in, do a little bit of activities, you get whatever rewards you like, which you honestly get the currency really quickly. When I was getting the footage for this video, I found a outfit that I liked, and within 1 hour, I got enough currency to get the outfit that I wanted. And you know what? Just because I ended up getting that one, I ended up staying a little longer and doing it for about 2 hours because I was just having a good time seeing the community and talking with people. And lo and behold, it's been now 3 hours that I've been here, and it's been pretty easy. Now, when talking about rewards, you do have an additional currency called Sandy Sands. Some people feel really upset that you actually have additional currency added into this event because Jagex was trying to move away from that. It can feel a little odd that there is another currency to manage in the game, but when it comes to the seasonal event, it kind of makes sense to me, and I might be alone on this. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong on this, but I do think that having a currency tied to the event to get the rewards unlocked from the event makes sense so that that's how you end up getting the rewards for it. Now, I'm always a big fan of like you come to the seasonal hub to get most of the currency, and then you can earn some currency just doing whatever you are doing inside of the overworld, but I actually don't mind that it is mainly locked to the seasonal hub because then it draws more people in to do it at the hub, which is really important. I think having one social area and a big gathering of people in one spot is really important because it creates social interaction, which is one of my favorite things and really blends and creates the feel of the overall event. What strikes me most about Sunlight Sands is the atmosphere. Honestly, it's warm, soft. Mind you, again, I haven't really played many of these seasonal events, so I don't mind popping in here for an afternoon and then never coming back. But honestly, I really enjoyed seeing so many people just hanging out in the world. Now, mind you, I did do this in the most populated world because it is a seasonal event. I don't really want to be here when there is nobody around, which can happen in the worlds that have lesser populations or when they're playing during peak time. But it is really nice to see people chatting and discussing. It's really enjoyable and makes the skilling portion kind of like backseating to the actual part where I want to be, which is communicating with the community. Most people here have been really wonderful. I've met a tremendous amount of folks, and I really appreciate conversations going on. But you also meet some bad eggs, which can happen. That usually happens when you're inside these giant social areas that always someone's hostile, political, or something crazy where it doesn't really make it for a really relaxing an area. But for the most part, people are just happy. You see a couple comments that the dungeoneering hole, which was an infamous AFK dungeoneering area because it was just you would climb into a hole and you just sit there for 15 minutes and you get dungeoneering XP. With the dungeoneering remaster that happened a couple weeks ago, don't really need to do that because I think dungeoneering now is probably in the best state the skill has ever been in, and it's a lot faster than you doing anything else. RuneScape has spent many years trying to figure out what it wants to be, if it wants to be a theme park, a living world, a museum of its own kind of history, and Sunlight Sands kind of leans into that second option of living world. It feels like a place with stories where you interact with people and you hear them, and it might not be the most life-changing event, but it is a pretty nice, cozy, small town feel. It's not loud, and it can be with the giant crab that spawns in the middle, but it's not desperate for your attention either. You don't see a big sign saying, hey, to come in. You do get a little message when you pop in and log in for the first time that, hey, there is a seasonal event going on. You can partake in it if you'd like. But other than that, it's just content that's there to simply exist for a month and then it goes away, which I think that's how seasonal events should be. They don't need to be this giant extravagant thing outside of like major holidays like Christmas or Halloween, which RuneScape is pretty infamous for. We got Santa hats and Halloween masks. Those things are pretty iconic items, and I think those type of events should be celebrated a little bit more than the other one. And Sunlight Sands really does feel just like a place that you come in, do what you gotta do, get the rewards you'd like, and leave. Or you can honestly, like most folk, just completely ignore it. Just want hands off, don't really have anything there. But I also started looking around at the players that are here. A lot of them aren't maxed. A lot of these people that I was talking to were new to the game. And as somebody who plays a lot of other video games, there are lots of events that happen in other games that are seasonal. And I actually look forward to seeing those seasonal events in those other games too. Because, yeah, it's something that breaks up the regular gameplay. It's something that makes it a little bit more enjoyable just to see what's going on. And honestly, if you're a new player and you're coming in and checking this out for the first time, usually they have a pretty good feel of it. It's like it's not a bad thing to want to come over and check out what's going on and see what everybody's doing. Now, why I think the direction of these seasonal events going forward, if this is the blueprint for that, and the truth is I really like this type of event, and I think it's really important for the overall community and the feel and direction of the game. It's integrated separately, so like it's not necessarily taking up home real estate like in Lumbridge. It's just integrated in your lodestone map, and you can teleport to it whenever you want to. It respects your time, that it realizes that like, look, I don't want you to sit here for 10 hours, dude. Go sit here for an hour, get the event rewards that you'd like, and then move on and keep. And most importantly, I really feel like it matches the game's direction when it comes to having a more intense integral and honest play session. RuneScape's been cleaning house on a bunch of old systems and polishing a lot of graphical problems in the game and updating a lot of previously existing issues, rebalancing the mid game, rebalancing the early game, and soon to be rebalancing the end game. There's going to be a lot of things that make it easier for people to pick up and play, and this is just one of those things as well. It's just something that if you want to break up your regular day-to-day grind, go ahead, go do the seasonal event for a little bit, go chat with some people, or just AFK. It's really, really simple, and I don't really think that it is a bad decision to have it here, and I don't think it really needs more dev time either. It's one people were discussing that like there should have been more polish to this, but then if you add more polish to this and make it more in-depth, then you end up having actual dev time that is really taken away from things coming up like the player-owned house or leagues or the plugin integration that's now coming in October. There's a bunch of stuff coming into the game, and the fact that they're still able to push something that doesn't feel like a giant FOMO event is pretty good. Now, to wrap up my thoughts, Sunlight Sands doesn't really feel revolutionary. It's not a headline, and it's definitely not the kind of event that changes the course of the game. But in my opinion, it does feel like a sign of some TLC. It's quick, it's easy, it's out of the way, and honestly, it's pretty fun and quirky. I thought it was pretty nice. But that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something new today, and I'll catch you in the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below on what you think on the seasonal hub and the direction of events going forward. Very excited for the Player on House. Comes out very soon, and I'm going to be making a video on that, on how I revamped my old Player on House to make it my own, and I'm very excited for that. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. Subscribe to catch that video when it drops. All right, guys. See ya.